This video is sponsored by the Design Mechanism, the makers of Mithras. Mithras is a registered trademark of the Design Mechanism Inc., used with permission. All rights reserved.
You're muted in any case. Can somebody just talk just to see whether or not you're live?
I don't feel like talking.
Yeah, thank you. Brilliant. Welcome in, everybody. It's been a while. I'm going to frantically move cameras around. I'm in the right place, but that is it. Nobody else is in the right place. Are you cleaning it? You got a little
That's personal, thank you.
a little wipe there. Oh, fish is in the right place as well. Captain Kangaroo needs to go there, and Medivac needs to come. Oh, I don't want to move all that, preferably. Oh no, oh no, that's fine. Let's just move Captain, and then Medivac will. What? I keep moving.
Alexa.
I keep moving the overlay instead of. Oh, has Medivac got an OBS sign up now?
I don't know.
That's a classic. I like that.
Hashtag new sponsor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I wish. Right. Everything seems to be in the right sort of place, I think. Let me just make sure that's in place. Right. We'll start. Medivac is having camera issues, but that's it. Thank you, Maglot. I think I've got it now. Do let me know if that is the case. It looks fine for me now. I'm just going to reduce the top of this a bit, and then I'll lock that in, and then that's it. Everything should be up and working. Welcome in, everyone, and welcome back. We've had a huge long break over Christmas. I hope you all had a fantastic Christmas and a great start to the new year. Medivac is a bit to one side. Yeah, we just have to live with him with like that. That's what his wife says to him as well. There you go.
Whoa.
There you go.
I am actually going to tell her that when I see her.
Yeah. I was quite quick with that one, I thought. I all fixed. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so welcome back. We're going to be playing part 2 of a second classic fantasy adventure. Now, just to remind you, we are playing the classic fantasy imperative rules, which are absolutely free. Anybody can actually download them and use them. So anything that you see us doing today, any rules are all part of that game. I'm just trying to find my sticky note that has the link on. There it is. So yeah, so you can go and find that anywhere and have a play if you wish. The players, we've had a bit of a swap around, and we've got new people, a new person coming in. Tickety Tex will be back with us when we move over to Mithras after this game, when players are going to be playing characters that they have not played for a long time. So that should be fun. And then
maybe some off-camera character development.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah.
What you keep asking this, Simon? Sorry, Captain. I'm just wondering what you've got up your sleeve. That's what's worrying me.
It's been so long, I just want to see maybe some maturity, maybe some lack of maturity, maybe some random prejudices come up. I don't know.
Maybe very small
maybe
stuff,
some literacy.
because your hands are very small.
Yeah, maybe some literacy. That was a dig from Mr. Pickle.
Maybe some shin extensions. I don't know.
Yeah, a bit of height gain.
Platform shoes or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, we'll be going back to Mithras after this adventure, and then we'll be starting a new campaign, and then it'll be M space. Oh, Destined, then M space.
Destined, yeah.
Destined,
Destined.
then M space.
Me-
So lots of things coming up. So before we go any further, I'm going to allow the players an opportunity to say who they are and who they will be playing tonight. And I'm going to start off with you, Mr. Pickles. So go for it.
Oh, well, I am Mr. Pickles, the monochrome one over here. I'm playing Belinda Ofregiok, which is the pre-generated name from Roll20. I didn't pick that, but I nicknamed her Belle. So if you ever want to talk to the gnome in the group, her name is Belle. She is a gnome rogue, which means she's part of the Thieves Guild and has a lot of the skills associated with that. She's great at lockpicking. She's good at mechanisms. I didn't get to show that off as much in our last Goblin dungeon crawler, mostly because those goblins, which my character despises, have no good mechanisms. As I said, she's the rogue of the group, so she's the one to sort of help out the people who can actually deal out some damage. A little bit of range, a little bit of melee, a lot of sneakiness. And that is Belinda Ofregiok. And I'll pass the mic to my good friend Captain Kangaroo.
Hey everyone, I'm Captain Kangaroo, and unlike the entire Lion Island I just visited over on your guys' end, I'm the first one with his name. Stop lying, you liars. I'm playing Brasive Red Axe today. He is the Ripley muscular, sex fiend of the group. No, he's there to kick butt, and then maybe if he remembers later after they're already dead to ask for names. He's a half orc fighter, and he's just honestly a beauty. He's a rippling beauty. From there, I'm going to pass the mic to Medevac.
That's awesome. Hi, I'm Medivac, and I play Ida. And she at some point wants to find out how Belle can load her slings so amazingly fast. You'll find out that later. I'm the group's cleric healer, semi-tank, because I'm quite hard.
You
I
are.
realised.
You are.
She is very charitable. She tends to give a lot of her money to the poor. She will protect her friends defiantly, with a passion. But she'll also protect anybody in need. She's quite tall. She's elven, and she has oh gosh, was it plate or mail?
Scale.
Oh, I got
Scale mail, yeah.
Scale round with mail scale. Yeah, and she uses the usual shield and mace. Yeah, she is badass. That's all I'm going to say. Surprisingly, I love her. So with that, I shall pass on to Fish.
Hello. Yeah, I'm Fishy. It feels a bit weird being the new person here because the last channel I used to play on, I found it. So it's a little bit strange being the newbie. Yeah. But yes, hello, and I will be playing Caramel Blackmane, a journeyman magic user who is rather more full of himself than I am. So if he seems a bit OTT on occasion, that's him, not me. And I don't always sit in the dark. My ring light is in a box somewhere, and when I find it, I will have better lighting in here.
Anything else you would like to tell us about your mage?
About Caraman?
He's human.
At the moment, he is human. Yes, there is that. At the moment, I don't know that much about him. I've got the basics down. As I say, he's a bit full of himself. He's vain and self-centered, and the rest of you are just there to serve his ambition as he becomes a more powerful mage. But more than that, I will develop as we go.
It sounds very much like Brasive, actually.
It's Cyrus.
What can he read? Is he literate, though?
He's had to learn everything by rote. People read spells to him, and he memorizes it that way.
See? It's the proper way of doing things. Have you not seen Drumline?
I'm not going to enter in this conversation at all. I'm going to move away from it to just to remind people that you can follow all our RPG content over on the Ko-fi site, kofi.com/inwheels. You can also make donations over there to make and you can support the stream from as little as £1. You can become a member and gain access to providing your favorite character or player with luck points to help them. You also have the opportunity to have peek at the character sheets, and also to gain access to the World Anvil site to see all the organizations, NPCs, and at a suitable level you also get to see all my channel notes as well. If you're watching tonight, don't forget you can always subscribe or give bitties to us, but you don't need to support us with money. We really appreciate you following, hanging out in the chat, sharing the word, and being part of the actual adventure. Yeah, and we do seriously value your and appreciate your support. So thank you very much for that. So the party finished the first adventure by doing a challenge down a mine. The mine was inhabited by a huge amount of goblins and a rather fearsome ogre that nearly took Ida's leg out. Fortunately, the party succeeded in defeating them and also picked up a number of gems and bits of metal that the local village think are silver, but the party actually know to be platinum. The challenge was set in the pub, in the tavern, and the party returned very happy to show off what they had done and what they had achieved. They were met on the way by a short dwarf called Rough and Stout, and he sort of was coming away from the village and said that there was trouble in the village. When the party arrived there, when they left to the mine, everybody was lining the streets and waving and throwing flowers down at their feet as they left. But when they returned, the town was still covered in snow, but deathly quiet. And the party heard went to the tavern, where they actually located some what initially looked as skeletons, but to the party's surprise, they appeared to be humans with skeleton masks on. And there was a lot of battling backwards and forwards. Brasive did a tremendous charge across the whole of the bar room and sort of generally actually missed. I think he actually ran into the bar, if I remember rightly, but they were actually successful in dealing with a lot of the skeletons in the room, or the skeleton followers. And that is where we actually left it. Now, before we go any further, Caraman is a starting character, and the party has had some additional skill rolls. So before we actually start on the adventure, Caraman is going to... Is it Caraman or Caramore? Let me...
hang on. Caramore.
Caramore has some skill points to use. Now, there's going to be 10 in total. In Classic Fantasy, it's the same in all the rule sets we play. The way to improve is quite simple. To improve a skill, you roll a D100 and you add your intelligence. If it's your skill or higher, then your skill goes up by 1d4 plus 1 points. If it's less than your skill, then your skill goes up with just by 1 point. There are also, in Classic Fantasy only, there's some other abilities that you can actually buy, and only if you have the requisites ready for that. So, yeah, so Cowman, we're coming straight over to you. I'm coming into your character sheet, so if you notice it moving up and down, that's me. If you
Roll20 is glitching at me at the moment and not showing me my character sheet, which is weird, because it was fine half an hour ago.
That's absolutely Are you're still in? Let me just make sure it's still assigned to you, I think.
Yeah, I've just got a, as I say, it was fine half an hour ago, but I've now just got a blank.
What happens if
window
you refresh Roll20? Just F5, it'll refresh it and see. Is the Roll20 being? It's normally, Alexia, it's normally quite good, but we do have errors with it at times. It normally happens.
That's better. Now
that's better. Got excellent. So if you go onto your character sheet, any skill, if you press the cog next to it, it brings up a dialog box. So I'm in your commerce at the moment, and then you can see there's a button to improve, and you just press that. It will roll it for you and also tell you how many points you've got. Once you've done that, you add the points to the percentage at the end, not to the other column, to the percentage. And you've got 10 rolls. So yeah, what would you like to spend them on?
Well, first thing, I've realized, courtesy of the little bit banter that's already happened, that I did actually forget to give my mage literacy, which is not a good thing for a mage.
No, not at all. And
you probably ought to shift a few points there.
You can probably take that at a later date. Let's move on, and then rather than moving anything tonight, let's see what happens by the end, and we can go from there. So what are the skills that you would like to improve?
Wow, now what shall we improve? I think for starters, I'm going to improve my combat style, because I didn't put many points into combat style.
No, staggering 34.
Yes.
So it should be easy to improve.
Should be pretty easy, yeah.
Yes, it goes up by 4 points. So now at 38.
So 38 on that one. I'm going to put second one in there.
Another 3 points.
3 points. So it gives me 41 if my maths does not fail me.
That's correct.
Okay, so that's that one. That's the first 2 down. I didn't improve any of my resistance skills beyond willpower, so I think also evade would be a good
Evade
idea.
would be a nice one. I think the party would agree with evade being important. 4 points.
So 4% on that.
Going straight up to 30.
Can I just say, has anybody explained the miracle of endurance?
Yeah, I kind of thought that should be mentioned. It's a critical skill in the system.
So that's endurance. Evade now is
evade twice. That put me up to
41
on the evade.
Yeah, endurance. The party.
Yeah, endurance. My endurance is appalling, so definitely put something into endurance.
Oh, you're getting all the good.
Yeah.
That 1% really let me down. Other than that, they're going really well.
You need, your endurance is awesome.
It's awesome in the sense that it has so much potential to be higher.
Second one is endurance.
Oh, that's a fail. So that's going up by 5.
Save those good rolls for later.
Yeah, I don't have good rolls usually. That's all the good rolls you're ever going to see from me, probably.
So
Grat and Alexia in chat will vouch for the fact that my dice are usually absolutely appalling.
So that's up to what?
2, 4, 6. I've got 4 more to
32
go.
for your endurance, isn't it? You didn't have? Did you have anything?
I had terrible endurance to begin with, so I think I'm looking about third one in endurance, because that really is. That's more like it. An extra 3% this time. It's still not good, but
30% is probably. Your willpower is awesome, though.
Well, yeah. Well, I went with the willpower. Yes, for mage, you've got to have willpower on a mage. That's absolutely useless at everything else. Yes, victim to the common cold.
So you got 3 more.
3 more rolls. Let's see where we're going to put the other 3 rolls. I'm going to be good and avoid my arcane casting and arcane knowledge because they're actually pretty good already. So,
Are they 70 or above?
No, they're not, but they're.
I only mention that metric because you get to a higher rank once you have, I think it's five skills at 70 or above.
5 skills at 70 or above. Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds about right.
So now is a good time.
He's still solidly into journeyman, but I think there are other things that could do with being better first.
I'd just like you to remember this now that you're saying that. So when you fail all your arcane casting rolls for the rest of the
entirely my fault. Yes.
Do you know, when we played Book of Schemes, I thought I had a really good skill with spellcasting, with folk magic at 60%, but I failed so many times with it. It was unbelievable.
That was fun because you wanted to cast a spell and you couldn't. And I was like, ah.
I know.
That's how it goes.
I know.
Sucks to be us.
Yeah, I don't know if you've watched or listened to the podcast for this month.
No.
But taking swim. Wow. Nice.
I get paranoid about not being able to swim, and I didn't have many points in it to start with. I still don't have many points in it, but as a GM, I have seen what happens when characters have no ability to swim whatsoever, and it gets to be very nasty sometimes. Dungeons tend to flood, in my experience.
Just to let you know, the podcast episode, the first part of it is what I learned as a player from doing Book of Schemes.
Oh.
Which was very, very interesting. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got two more.
I've resisted it long enough. I'm going to improve my arcane casting. Oh, that's 3%. Yeah.
58.
Maybe stealth?
That's pretty good at the moment. But,
oh, cool.
Well, it depends what your class is good.
Well, mine's 42.
Not saying and Darth says hello, everybody.
I am with perception. It's already pretty good, but perception can never be too high.
Oh, another 5. That's nice.
Very good. Yes. Okay, and that's them done.
Fantastic. So, brilliant. So, we're going to dive straight back into the adventure. I'm not going to make Caramon walk in and make friends with you or anything like that. We're just going to assume that he's Tegan. Okay, and there's been like a swap between Tegan and Caramon.
I'd like to think that Caramon's hidden in the room, behind a table somewhere.
That's what I thought you were going to do, is say that, cowering in the corner, and we killed off all these gang members.
Yeah, well, the other person I'm going to take out at this point is Rough and Stoat, because he was only put in to be a magic user, to have 4 up at the class. So he will stay at the tavern. But that seems a really good idea. Once the skeletons have been dispatched, Caramon can crawl out of beneath a table somewhere and introduce himself.
I think, sorry, I don't want to interject, but maybe when he sees the tide turning, you can jump up and help.
Yeah, and maybe let's say, why don't we say that he kills this one? That one was had a bleed effect on him.
Kill stealer.
And Caramon, no putting axes in people's heads, please. Bracif, put your axe away, please. And we'll say that Caramon was underneath this table and dealt with this one in any way he seems fit. Just to remind you that you've got your luck points will be up to normal. Your magic points will not be changed until you have a rest. The other thing is, can you remember the last time we had a short rest? There were those 5 items that you could do during a short rest. And one of them was every 15 minutes you could get a magic point back or something like that. just to let you know, after talking to Rod, who is the creator of Classic Fantasy, you can only use one of those once in the actual hour of the rest. So you can't use magic points, magic points, magic point, magic points. You could do magic points heal or something like that. But so it's not a case that you can just wander through the day and get all your magic points back after you've cast mage armor or things like that. So yeah, let's dive in it. So let's Brace, if you are over at the bar place at the moment. Captain's very quiet. I'm really worried.
Sorry, I'm just
Are you eating?
being mellow.
Of
No, I
being-
just finished.
Oh,
I just finished.
see, that's what happens when you come to the UK. We mellow you.
I bet when you get to
I don't know. I was
now,
hyped up on tea and coffee caffeine the entire time. I can only get down if I drink. Like, I honestly think all you guys do is just like drink too much tea and then you have to drink beer to bring you down. And you're just kind of like always at a constant leveling situation.
It's true. Have you started queuing when you go into a shop now?
Queuing politely.
Queuing politely, yes.
Oh. No, I haven't. I didn't deal with that.
Okay, then. So
They're all scared of me.
Ida and Belle, shut up now. Ida and Belle, you are the first people to notice Caraman crawling out from underneath the table, so you can set off the discussion.
You man, come to us. Come back here. Come back here.
Are there any more? It's
a survivor.
Hey, it's looking unpleasant in here. This fellow fell over. I don't know quite what happened there. Absolutely no idea. Definitely didn't stick my staff between his ankles. That would be a terrible thing.
Did you see what happened?
I think yeah, it's getting quieter. Yeah. Takes a moment to dust himself off.
Yeah, Brasive
and stands up straight.
Brasive turns around from being on top of the bar and looks around, and you can see Caramore now as well. Brasive.
You. Who are you?
Caramore Blackmane, at your service. Magic user extraordinaire. And yourselves?
We don't like you.
We're a bunch of goblin slayers. What kind of wizard are you, though? Because we've talked with some wizards that are.
Are you a good wizard or a bad wizard?
So I was thinking more skilled.
Oh, right.
Unskilled.
I was thinking Wizard of Oz. So,
well, according to those fools in the order, I'm merely a journeyman, but that's just because they don't recognize talent.
Oh, well, what are you talented in? Are you going to make a weasel talk?
That's not something I've specifically studied.
Okay, what have you studied?
Have you pulled a flower from your pocket?
Well, that's a very personal question, and not recently.
Okay, Caramore. What can you do? Can you summon a ball of fire to incinerate our goblin enemies?
That's more the sort of thing that I normally do, yes.
Oh, well, yeah. You should join our group and figure out why these weird people are here killing off our fans. Abrasive's fans. Yeah, sorry, I'm Belle, this is Ida, and big guy is Brasive, because he's abrasive.
Where did the bartender go?
He was in front of you. You were smashing his skull in.
No, that was the other guy. Where's the bartender? I need my ale now.
So Caramore can
give you... under that table. It's the best I can tell you.
Caramore can give you a little bit of information at this point, since he was in the bar room when the skeletal followers came in. Basically, he says that they came in, and you can tell the party what you actually did, but somehow you managed to end up underneath a table. You also know, Caramore, that they ransacked the place quite rigorously, they took down a whole load of frames that were up above the fireplace, and they seemed to take them down and smash them and remove some things from them. You also know that the barkeeper, the tavern owner, fled through this door here. The followers tended to be more, they didn't seem to be looking for anything in particular. They just seemed to be in a mood and just sort of like ransacked the stuff that they took off the wall. They smashed in half and removed the bits of metal from it and handed them to somebody outside the front door that you couldn't see.
No. They ruined the je ne sais quoi of the place. No.
I think the bartender failed to pay the local guild. That's all I can think of. It looks suspiciously to me like somebody's come in and decided to mess up his business.
A guild? What kind of guild do you think would do such a thing?
Well, I think all guilds do that sort of thing, don't they? But is there a bartenders guild here, or perhaps some roguish element to the area? I'm not from around here.
You're saying that they came in and they smashed up these pictures that we saw earlier with people's names on and the bars of this metal.
The little
and took
ingots
the
of
metal.
lead. Yeah.
That's right.
You can
which we know as platinum, but they think was just merely silver.
Yeah.
Platinum. Ah, now it begins to make sense.
It sounds more like a robbery.
Yeah, well, if I'd known it was platinum, then I would have leapt to that conclusion immediately.
Yes, sorry. Yes, I should have led that, really, shouldn't I?
Yes, you did bury the lead a little there.
So, why would, I mean, it sounds like a necromancer. Why would somebody summon skeletons?
There are guys wearing masks and pulling on your sleeve.
Oh, they weren't they? Sorry. I remember the last time now.
Blood on the ground and how I could poke them.
Of Christmas has flown away. They actually bled, didn't they? Sorry, I remember that you said that last time.
Yeah.
So they were just.
Skeletons don't bleed, pretty elf lady.
I'm aware of this, Bracey, my friend.
Well, I thought there might be some sort of criminal gang. You know, they're all wearing the same look.
Indeed. This was purely a robbery.
We know who's supposed to be coming here, who was supposed to arrive when we were gone. I forgot her name, but the lady who asked us to pick some mushrooms. That's why we have some mushrooms, by the way, new friend. She wanted mushrooms, and she sent an old skinny guy to ask us to be adventurous and get mushrooms.
That's right, because
you're the name person, Ida. You're supposed to remember this.
I'm racking my memory by turning back the pages.
Her name was.
Maybe pray to your God about it.
And a voice echoes as you pray to your God. You hear, her name was Jezebel Candlewick.
Right on the page I was looking at, yes, because she was a Percy's mistress.
Yeah, so Percy was the shady guy that came to your rooms at night and asked you to get the mushrooms.
The red mushrooms, white stalk, glowing red.
Yeah, and he mentioned that his mistress would be coming, and he had been sent ahead to sort of like make arrangements, etc.
And to avoid the wife seeing her.
Yeah.
New page. So yes.
We can't understate how weird he was.
Brace is gonna go and try to find some ale for himself.
Oh yeah, where's Brasive going?
He's going back this direction.
Yeah, so Belle and Ida, you can see the frames that you saw before in the first adventure. Or they look like they've been snapped, and the name frame name. The name labels have been snapped and pulled off. Whereabouts did you say? Let me take the skeleton followers off now. Whereabouts are you going, Brasive?
Over here.
Okay then. Well, as you can move yourself over there, then can you make for me, please, a perception check as you get there?
Jumping on this thing.
Do you really want to jump over it and be impressive and give me an athletics check?
Do it. Do it.
Oh,
That's perception. That's not
Yeah.
athletics. That's perception.
oh, that's his perception. Hang on.
Oh no, it's gonna go so wrong.
Nobody's watching.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, you sort
I'm
of
not
like,
embarrassing.
you sort of like do a sideways vault over it and land. So yeah, so in this place there's barrels and tankards there. It's quite easy for you to grab one and fill it up. But as you're doing that, you hear what appears to be a whimpering sound from the door to the north from where you are at.
Brace is gonna walk to the door and then kick it open.
Yeah, make a brawn roll for me.
Don't embarrass me. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, it appears to have been barred from the other side, but you give it a hearty whack and it splinters off. The rest of you hear the door as Braceve bashes it in. You notice as you sort of like look inside here, you can see the tavern keeper that you've seen before. And there's also the maid, if you remember, the maid was there. And the interesting thing that happens is that as soon as you bash down the door and they glimpse you for a moment, they almost like look at the floor and they sort of like covered their eyes up like this. And the barkeeper said, Rose, don't look at him. Don't look at him. And they're sort of like cowering down like this with their hands over their eyes and their eyes looking at the ground. And
you are wearing pants, aren't you?
I can't say. Braceve takes a sip and looks at him and says, "What's your nuts?"
The barkeeper just says, leave us be, leave us be. We mean you no harm.
Of course you don't. Look at you. Where's your nuts?
Take whatever you want. Take whatever you want. And no, they seem to be completely. They don't seem to want to look at you at all. They seem to be very much sort of like going down, and even when you shout, "Look at me," Rose, the barmaid, starts to cry, and not a whimper, but almost like a full-on cry, and she said, "Don't make us, please don't make us look at you."
Hearing this commotion, I'm going to approach the bar and then genteelly climb up the stool onto the bar on the other side.
These employees are so rude.
Yeah.
So you see Braceve there with his tankard of beer.
Please, have you seen what these people have been through? If you just take a moment, Braceve, and just listen, just be calm. Don't be rude. Barkeep, we're here to save you. I'm Ida. This is Braceve. We've got Belle over there. And we also have Cameroon. I was going to say that. Paramore. Over here as well. You saw us earlier. We went off to go into the mines to go get these metal ingots for you as a challenge. Do you remember?
Rose is still blubbering. Sort of like saying, don't make us. And the tavern keeper says, we cannot look into you because of the curse. There is a curse on us all.
No, there isn't. Those were clearly men dressed up as skeletons.
No, not them. She has cursed the whole village. The whole village is cursed.
Well, why did you send us in there in the first place if we couldn't come back and show you what we'd done?
She came after you. Please.
Who is she?
The woman that arrived in the wagons.
Jezebel?
I don't know her name. She was dressed in black robes, and she just waved and cursed us all. We are cursed.
Now, my friend Barkeep, was it a curse, or was it a damn you all to hell curse?
She has powerful magic. She has powerful magic. She even slit the throat of a live chicken.
Well, Bracef can do that.
That's not very difficult, really. Chickens aren't much of a challenge.
Yeah, they're very scrawny necks, just like this witch.
I would like to point out, by the way, that black robes are extremely common. Don't read anything into this.
It's true. Our new friend here is exactly right by what he's saying. Black robes are commonplace.
Yes, Kelmore is wearing black robes, so.
I think the Dinky Mage is worried about everyone seeing his stomach, so he wears black to hide it.
It's the way forward. If I wasn't so slim and attractive, I would probably wear a black robe too.
Very stylish.
Fish, did you see the message that I sent you on Discord?
Yeah.
So I'm just warning you, because if we go into an encounter,
I use a program called Chatty, which shows me the chat from the stream without actually having the stream up.
But what will happen is that you might find that they start to talk about what they can see on the screen. That might happen, so be prepared for that. Ida, can you make for me, please? This is going to be an opposed roll. So you're going to be rolling your influence for me.
Character. Right, okay. Oh, shakalaka.
You've still all got your augmentation on. I think that's from your bless.
Sorry. It is from Yonks ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get rid of that. Do you want me to roll it again?
No, that's 5. Even with the 5, it'll be fine. 24 is your roll. So this is an opposed roll. So my
might be 31, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So my
what am I talking about? 29, sorry.
29.
Maths.
So my skill for my willpower that you're trying to oppose is 27. So he fails to sort of like your influence. So you have an opportunity now to ask something that he will answer as truthfully as he can, or you can get him to look at you if you wish. I'm just going to move you up a little bit so you're more barring Braces, who's probably still chugging down.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think I'm trying to think what kind of nuts would grow in a small snowy village up a mountain. Acorns.
Squirrels.
Yeah, there's some
pine nuts.
If you boil acorns, and then they're actually pretty tasty if you boil them and roast them.
So yeah, Ida, what would you like to do?
I would like him to just look at me. Look, Barkeep, just there is no curse. There's just a vengeful woman who is trying to steal your metal, which is not what you think it is.
So as you say this, are you going near him at all? Are you encouraging?
Indeed, yeah, I'm gonna like do that Leia talking to R2D2.
Yeah.
Help me, Barkeep.
Yeah, and sort of like as you reach out and maybe lift his chin up in a very clerical manner to look at you, Rose almost like gets hysterical. Lisa's in the chat, by the way. Gets hysterical, and he sort of like, he removes his hands to start off with and sort of like looks up with his eyes still closed. And as you encourage him more and more, he sort of like opens one really slowly. And you notice, Ida, that he's actually holding his breath as he's doing this, and then he opens the next one and he sort of like looks at you and says, "You are a great cleric. You have broken her curse."
No, you're cursed now. No, joking. No, I didn't say that. You have to believe there is no curse. There is only good.
You are a savior. Can you release the whole village from the curse?
If you bring them here, I shall set them free.
Braceville is going to kind of whisper into her ear, like bend down.
Maybe
some money. Into her ears, like maybe some money. I don't know, free drinks.
Well, I do believe, Brace, if that was the intention, if we came back from the finding the metal bits.
Have you found your notes? that was indeed.
So
all of it.
So my friend, your daughter and you are fine. You're safe. Bring the villagers here, and they too shall be safe. Yeah, the merriment shall begin. But first, you must tell me where this woman went.
And he sort of like points outside. He says, she came in, and her followers grabbed that man that had been in the tavern before, and well, they dragged him out and tied his hands, and then she stood in the middle of the village and cursed it. That's when I came inside.
That man, we've not come across him, I take it, or have we?
Yeah, he's referring to Percy.
Oh, Percy, sorry, right, okay.
Yeah.
My apologies, right. What did that man look like?
He gives the description of Percy down to the nth degree.
Well, that's very strange, because Percy is working with that lady.
No, he said they were definitely very, very rough with him. And
well,
I'm sure he whimpered.
Yes, but she's his mistress.
I'm no. Well,
I know these things. Being a lovely village that you have here, with some difficulties, but the otherworldly or the other areas of this
we
fine
don't
land you don't see.
No, we don't even treat our animals as badly as that.
No, she's an evil bitch. Oh, sorry, did I say that out loud? Sorry.
I'm not happy to go outside. Rose isn't looking at you. By the way,
I'll put my hand on Rose's shoulder, and I said, Rose, his father, isn't it? Yeah, it's your daughter, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, Rose, your father's fine. You'll be fine.
Okay.
Don't be scared.
Roll your influence. Ooh, I make my willpower 27, dead on the door. Ooh, and my 27 is higher than your 12.
You beat me.
Yeah, and she seems to be totally against it. Even if you try to touch her, she sort of like screams and backs away. And she's sort of like, I will pray for you, Father. You are doomed to go to the 9th plane of hell now.
Nice.
Well, can he still serve drinks there? Because to be quite honest, Master Barkeep, your daughter here seems in quite distress. Maybe Belle could maybe talk to her because she's of smaller stature. But maybe while she's talking, you can maybe service Bracef here, and maybe I could have a little glass of wine if possible.
Is this to the barkeeper?
The barkeep, yes.
Yeah, he's quite happy to serve you now if that's what you want.
Yeah, I'll have a little.
Exactly what I want.
Nifter.
Bracef has already got something, so that's fine. So yeah, so he serves you with the alcohol that you both want. Yeah, what would you like to do next?
Caramore?
Yes.
Did you see what happened to that lady and man when you were under the table?
To be completely honest, most of the day's a little bit vague. I was under the table before the attack started. I've still got a headache now. Rather too much wine.
Ah, medicinal, no doubt.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to just have a look outside. I mean,
Okay,
the woman's not there because we came in, didn't we? And she wasn't there when we came in.
Correct.
But I'd just like to open the door or open
Okay,
a window.
then. So Ida wants to go and have through a window. Did you say? Yeah.
Yeah, a window. Yeah.
Belle, there was Ida. Did you ask Belle to go up to talk to the
to Rosie? Yeah, because I mean, Belle's quite small and assuming and very friendly. And I thought maybe that she could talk to Rosie and bring her around because, you know, life's not bad when you see things.
I mean, I was hoping to look through some of these bodies and see if they had any spare coinage on them.
Well,
especially after finding out they're not skeletons. But
so let's say that you probably have time to do that while the previous part of this scene was going on. And everybody seems to have their attention elsewhere. So are you going through the bodies of the skeleton followers? Is that the idea?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe if they're bandits, they might have something cool in their pockets.
Okay, then. So just roll for me your stealth.
Oh, okay. 45 of, well, gotta take my augmentation off, but otherwise that was a 45 out of 73.
Yeah. So there's two things that you find. The first thing that you find, and this seems to be divided up quite evenly, were the nuggets, the platinum nuggets that were on the frames, in the frames above the fire. They seem to have gone no further than the actual followers that are here. The other thing that you find on each of the followers, each of them exactly the same. They seem to have an amulet around their neck. It's made of some kind of leather, like a leather shoelace that is tied on around it. And it's roughly a cylindrical, a circular shape, but it's not perfectly made. And it seems to be some kind of copper or something like that. And it has etched into it what can only be seen as a crudely designed skull. So it just sort of like has a round thing, the lines for the teeth and two holes for the eyes. And each of the skeletal followers have one of those. And then you've pocketed the other bits of platinum. It's up to you what you actually do with them at that point. Okay, but at that point, then you're finished. Ida has asked you to go and talk to Rose. So that's where Ida, you're going to the window. Caramore and Brasive, what would you like to do? Brasive, you've got a top up of your tankard, and you've also got a handful of nuts that you've got.
I'm gonna finish my nuts, have my ale in my hand, and then at the same time, after they're all kind of done going through, I'm gonna start dragging the bodies, and then trying to. I'm assuming I'll probably get rid of them, like in an alleyway or something.
Yeah, so you want to ditch them outside.
Yeah, but nothing. I don't want to be like too obvious where I throw it in front, because then if they walk by, like, hey, aren't those all of our dead friends?
You might be able to sort of like put them somewhere behind the tavern.
Yeah, that's kind of where I want to go.
Okay, so you can busy yourself doing that. And Caramore, what would you like to do?
I think that is a very good question. where is the? Just looking to see that there doesn't seem to be a back entrance to the inn.
Yeah, there'll be a door out of the
There is
kitchen
gonna be
down
a door
here
out
that
of the kitchen.
Brasive's
Okay.
going to be using.
Right. In that case, I think what I will do is, while he's getting rid of the bodies, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to head down and lurk by that door and keep an eye out.
Okay, then.
Just to make sure that nobody is sort of watching what he's up to.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. So let's come to you, Belle. You need to roll your influence roll to try to. Oh, first of all, are you going to try to convince Rose that there's no curse, or do you have a different plan of actions?
Well, Ida likes to think the best of me, and that's not who I am. I would like to lie.
Oh.
If I can. And the goal is still to get her to trust me, but I'm just going to try and say what I think she wants to hear. And of course, that is that we are with the opposing force against this evil witch. And yes, there's a curse, but we're crushing it and we're here to destroy. Her looking at me will give us more power to undo this real curse.
Got ya. Okay,
would that be a lie, or would that still be influence?
You're going to roll your deceit now.
Yes.
But wait, don't forget to take the augmentation off. But the other thing is, it is now hard because a roll's been used for her already. So remember, the skill roll gets one more difficulty level at that point. So you're rolling a hard.
And it's capped at your influence. No, I'm joking.
I've just rolled a 3, which is actually for 27. That's a crit, is it not?
Yeah, I mean, she is picking up on how I barely believe it myself, but yeah. Even if I spent a point of luck to get that to be a 1, it would still fail.
It would still fail. Yeah, it really would, which is a shame. But
that is a damn shame.
I probably trail off at the end, just kind of like, and then if you look at us, obviously that'll help fight the curse powers of the continuum.
You feel, Belle, that you did a really good job, but you think it was probably messed up by the person before you that really didn't do it in the right way and sort of like left you with very little to work with, you know, in your gnomish capacity.
I'll like look at Caramore and be like, what can you do?
What can you do?
Not out loud, just I pose like that, just put in my hands.
Perhaps it would help if I used some magic. I have a spell which is good for resisting curses.
What?
I can generate an anti-curse field centered around a glowing divine light. Perhaps if I were to create that, it would put people at ease.
I just want to see you do a magic trick. All the wizards I've ever met are just terrible, or they make illusions.
Okay, so I'm just going to cast a simple light spell in the middle of the
room. Cool, yeah. So
it's a fireball.
Hopefully you didn't say that last part out loud.
No, that bit was for the GM, not for the not in character.
Okay, yeah. So roll your arcane casting. So
take your time over it.
Yeah, exactly.
That wasn't very good.
So one of the things this is, see, and you thought 55 was going to be good. Just to let you know, with certain things in a scene, you can actually take minutes over it rather than seconds, and that reduces the difficulty grading to easy. That's why Ida said take your time over it. So yeah, so you'll lose your magic points. And where would you like the light to appear? Does it have a radius? Oh yeah, Ida, you've got one of these, haven't you?
I do indeed. Yep.
Hmm.
You want to try and find it now? It has a radius of.
Is it the same as darkness?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's 3 meter or 10-foot area.
10-foot area. So that sort of like
No, if you
it
basic
will
level,
illuminate at the 10-foot area.
level 1 would be three. Oh, what's that? 3 10-minute 60-foot range 20 size.
so it can probably illuminate the whole of this place.
Yeah.
And so whereabouts would you want the point of origin to be?
I think as centrally as I can get it for maximum effect.
The ceiling or floor?
Ceiling.
Okay, yeah. So Caramon sort of like gestures and throws things around, and all of a sudden the whole area is bathed in bright light. Is this something that you're going to be impressed about, Belle, or not?
Absolutely, I'm impressed. All of the restraint that he's having, not to make the color stupid or silly or dance around like all the other gnomish illusionists do.
Yeah, and
it's beautiful.
The place is bathed in light, but Caramon, it doesn't seem to be having any effect on Rose. She doesn't seem to be coming round. How would you like to justify this to Belle?
Well, all I can do is resist the curse. I mean, this is obviously going to be doing its job. The curse will be, if there is a curse, it will be greatly reduced within the effect of this holy light. But it does require faith, obviously.
Obviously.
I've been looking out the window, and I'm hearing this conversation behind me.
So just before anything happens, can you just roll a deceit, please? And Belle, you need to roll your willpower.
This is more the way I expect dice to go.
I want
One
to
more
believe.
point. You've got a skill point.
Belle, he's talking rubbish. You've seen a light spell like this that I just cast before, and you're just sort of like thinking, he's just talked a whole load of rubbish to you.
I still want to play along though, and like wear my excitement on my sleeve.
Yeah,
just like
So while that's happening, Ida, you were looking through the window, and now that you're sort of like a little way to the tavern, you can see several things out the window. But to see which ones you take notice of, can you just roll me a perception check, please?
Yes, I can.
Nice. Okay, so the first thing you catch really quickly, and it's only for a second, when you sort of like look through the window, you notice that the shops opposite, if you remember across the road, you suddenly notice faces dipping back out of sight, or they quickly look down, or a shutter quickly closes. The other thing the two more things that you notice, just past the tavern, so virtually to the north of the map, you can see that there's an area of snow that has been thoroughly trampled down. There seems to be a lot of mud on it. It almost looks like it's through to the actual ground. You know, when you dig up soil, snow, you actually hit the mud underneath. You can see that. You can also see what appears to be tracks leaving the village just from north of the tavern going to the west, if that makes sense. There seems to be like a cart width across, but without getting closer, you can't make a complete analysis of it. Abrasive is sitting by the fire
Oh, bless him.
with his nuts.
Having seen that,
my nuts in my hand.
I'm not going to.
But where else would it be?
I'm not going to rise to it. I'm not going to rise to it.
It's what abrasive doesn't.
Oh,
I didn't hear that.
We got a player.
That's okay.
Good.
I'm hearing the conversation. I've looked out the window, hearing the conversation behind me with Cameron and Bell. Again, just is there another way through this bar without climbing over the?
Yeah, there, just down where Carmen was stood. There's a flip.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll do that.
Well, it's not hinged or anything. It's just something that you take out and can put back again. Yeah.
I'm going to move back into there, and I want to cast. I should do the start off with remove fear.
Oh, nice.
That sounds like a more useful spell.
Very
Yeah.
fancy.
Yeah. I didn't even think of it before, to be quite honest. I was on a roll with my role playing.
Fantastic. Does it have a resistance to it?
Let me give you the blurb.
Yeah, give
Plus for
me.
this spell, blah, blah, blah. In fact, can I just link it? I can't link it.
Should be able to just click it if you've copied it into your. Is it actually called remove fear?
It's called remove fear or cause fear. Divine magic level 1.
Yeah, resist willpower. It is.
Willpower 1,000.
And it's a cost of 3 plus 1 per additional intensity that you're applying to it.
No, I'll be doing a basic. I'm just doing a 3.
Okay, then, yeah. So you need your.
Is it control rank magic sphere cost? Cost. It says cost. Oh, cost 1.
Oh, I'm looking at fear. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I've got here rank cleric 1, magnitude 1, sphere all, cost 1 plus slash intensity.
What's it called? What's the spell called?
Remove fear.
Oh, I was looking at fear. Sorry, thought you were going to.
Yes,
yeah, got you. Resist. So yeah, so
it's just a willpower. I thought. Let me just.
No, they gain. I have a willpower check for cause fear, but there's resistance. From down here, in both cases, the resistance roll required of the subject is 1 grade easier.
Oh yeah.
No, so
also
what?
divine ward against fear.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. I'm not resisting against your roll.
No, you're resisting against fear.
Yeah, that's what I'm resisting against. But instead of being standard, it would be easy for her to do it. So yeah, go for it. You'll need to roll your channeling.
Yes, of course I do. Sorry, this roll goes pear-shaped.
No, you are on board. So yeah, that's 1 magic point done. So I now get her willpower check against the fear itself, but it's going to be 1 grade easier. So instead of being standard, it's going to be easy for this. So she will succeed in doubting herself no more. And as you finish the spell with this holy light emanating from the ceiling, Rose reveals her eyes and sort of uncovers her eyes and looks straight up at you, Ida, with this divine light shining down.
At which point I'll look at it. No, fear me.
Yeah, Belle,
I have your nightmares.
Belle, you see this as well, and Calmore, you do as well. And Rose looks up to you, Ida, in this, bathed in this divine light. That what she thinks is divine light at this point, as you utter
it is divine light, yes.
And she sort of like says, "We have been saved."
Indeed, Lisa protects all. My goddess is the most protective of protectiveness
And it's so good that the divine light is staying forever.
It is. It will last at least
we will have
minutes.
light in this room forever. How long does light last for?
I think it's about an hour.
It will be there 10 minutes to level 1.
She
They just realized they have a hole in the ceiling.
She sort of like comes over to you and sort of like kneels before you and says, "Tell me more about your divine goddess. She has power."
Indeed, Rose, she does. She is the protector of the weak and the most charitable of the poor. But it's a hard road because we have nothing but what we carry with us. But be pleased to know that you are now protected.
I'm not going to make you a deceit roll or anything like that.
Well, I'm not. I'm not being deceitful. I believe this.
Yeah,
You know,
and
this is either.
She sort of like looks up at you, not nodding, and Belle, you hear she turns to her father, and you hear her says, "Father, I have found the way."
My child, I believe, Rose, that your way is to look after your father and help him in his needs. If you feel the calling when you're older, then please do seek out.
How old do I need to be?
Well, there is
How old are you? Fair elven maid.
Beat that bitch.
Bracing his back to get some more nuts from behind the bar, I notice.
So yeah, just be mindful and look after your father until this distress is over.
And she goes over and sort of like puts her hand on his head as Bracif carries bodies through this area and out the back door and then coming, sorry, and sort of like bars his back with the next one, and he's going backwards and forwards, and
nothing to see here.
Nothing, yeah, and Rose is looking. She certainly thinks that she's found her way. Ida, do you want to tell the party anything that you find, or do you need to? Does the party need to relocate at this point? What's going to be the plan?
I think that we should join Bracif at the fire, maybe with a glass of wine.
Okay.
And I don't know if everybody else would like a small drink. But
Oi, waitress, now that you're done with the break, can I have some more ale?
The barkeeper will top you up, Bracif, and the barkeeper is in awe and wonder of you, Ida, and your powerful magic. And he sort of like gives Caramon and Belle, Caramon, sorry, do you wish to have alcohol as well or not?
Just if you have some milk, that would be quite sufficient.
They have water.
Yeah, I'll take
let
some.
Let me go milk the cat.
Water.
Yeah, so
maybe just a little wine or ale then.
Do you wish to relocate yourself to the fireplace? Ida, at this point, I think will probably bring you up to speed.
Indeed, yeah. I'll explain about the north of the town is all it seems to be all torn up. And going to the west, there's tracks, but there's something that it's like a carriage, but it seems to have gone straight down to the mud, like it's maybe carrying something heavy. I don't know, but it's gone through the snow and it's dug up all the ground below it. I hope I've said that right.
Yep. Perfect.
Well, I've drunk enough now, so I might be able to mutter some more.
What was to the west out of interest? Was that where we came from?
It was a forest. So you came from the north and then traveled out to the south towards the mountains. Yeah, go for it.
The north of town's all been torn up. Was that done before we arrived, though?
No, it's been done since you.
Since we're in here.
Well, since you were away.
Oh right, sorry.
The pathway with the snow was sort of like pressed down in places as the villagers walked around, but there was nothing as dramatic to what you're seeing at the moment. You can't even remember seeing wagons in the town, in the village beforehand.
No, but we know she had a car, or she had a wagon, didn't she?
Well, you assume, yeah, maybe.
Right. Okay. So yes, I'll explain this. So something's gone west, and as it's gone west, it's torn. Well, has it gone west? Has it come in west and gone north?
So do you want to all nip outside and grab some more information? Because if you remember, Ida, you were looking through the window at that point. So,
and I think that Bella
Does that
before we go out there, something I can't help but wonder if what was said about Perry, that weird guy, is
Percy
something to be concerned about. Yeah, Percy. He's not a Perry. I was just thinking, we assumed kind of that maybe this person who hired us is double crossing us, but what if there's somebody who's a rival to her that is, I don't know, trying to beat her to the punch or something? I only mention this because if she appears, I don't want her head chopped in immediately if she's still our employer. If you're hearing me, Brasive. This is mostly for Brasive. But I don't want you bashing her skull in either.
Well, no,
sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What?
I can't really see her as a good person if she was abusing this Percy character.
But see, that's the thing. What if? Why would she abuse her own minion? That's an evil thing to do. It seems more likely that a rival would appear, see this minion of their rival, and say, beat him senseless and find out where these mushrooms are that our boss is looking for.
So you've I think what Belle is saying is that you're assuming that the person who arrived was Jezebel.
Indeed.
We didn't get her name though. At least from the bartender.
No.
He didn't know her name. So we don't know for sure it was her.
And Percy was dragged off with the followers.
He seemed creepy in his loyalty to his boss. So I'm just saying he could enjoy the beating, but I don't. I'm doubting it.
I'm going to kneel down real low and look Belle in the eyes and say, Belle, I think you're onto something here. I think truly I've jumped to assume that, yes, you're right. Well, you could be right. So
I could be right. That's all I'm saying. Let's just not kill her immediately when we see her, because that might be a repeat of well,
can I stand back up now because my knees are hurting me.
I mean, I'm sitting in a chair. You don't need to kneel down in front of me.
Okay, I'll really low down.
Speaking mostly of the chair now.
Do you wish to go outside and have a further look at the general area and see what information you can pick up from that?
Yes. I just wanted to get that thought in everybody's mind so that we don't kill people that are good.
Fantastic. So does anybody have any skill? Does anybody have tracking? Or does anybody have any skill that they would like to use to maybe gain some more information about this situation outside?
I do have track.
Okay. So anybody else wish to use any other skills? Or is it just Bracey who's looking at things?
I might give him some aid.
Oh.
Bear with me 1 second, and I may cast.
You're going to bless his heart?
I may bless him, but does that cover? It does cover general skills, doesn't it? It covers everything.
I think it does, but I will.
Bless his allies for effect.
Plus 5% to all skill.
All skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. So, if we wait here, just 1 second, I'll cast my goddess's power to improve your skill.
You can make it easy before taking minutes. Oh, good job.
Yeah. Otherwise, I have to reverse it.
Yeah. So you so Brace is going to use tracking. Belle and Caramore, is there anything that you would like to do while you're outside?
This is a little outside of my normal area of expertise. I would like to know what's so important about these mushrooms, though.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds like we've got into some sort of a factional dispute over mushrooms, which, unless they're particularly fond of risotto, seems strange.
So I think Belle would probably take him aside and explain the entire
Yeah.
scenario of what we saw and then what we went into the dungeon. Essentially, we were asked to get these mushrooms by a creepy guy named Percy for his lady that we never met, but we made a lot of assumptions about. We went down to the mine and there were tons of different glowing mushrooms, but we found the correct ones. And some of them made us a little sleepy.
But the initial thing wasn't they?
And diarrhea.
Were they to prolong life?
Yes, that's what the red mushrooms are. One of their medicinal purposes was they are rumored to extend life.
Would I have any knowledge of this sort of thing with my my law of alchemy?
So you, Belle, who has the mushrooms?
Bracey was carrying them because Belle was a little paranoid for some reason.
Because you tried to eat them all.
The question is,
we never ate any of them. We were just
the
playing
question
with the
is,
blue mushrooms.
does Bracey
Wrestling.
remember where he actually put these important things?
He was carrying them on his shoulder, wasn't he?
They're in a satchel. Right?
I thought you were literally carrying the stalks on your
That's
shoulder
what-
like a lumberjack.
No, he now has a satchel.
How big are they?
Yeah.
I have a satchel.
Well,
You had your axe and your mushrooms.
Roll your law of alchemy. Caramel.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, I don't have that.
No, you now.
Point of luck, point of luck.
Okay, so you have an option
of
now.
luck.
So you can use a luck point now to reverse that to make it a 29, which means you can succeed. You can use a point of luck that way. You can also use a point of luck to re-roll it if you don't need to in this situation. You don't have to use a luck point if you don't want to. And you can also use luck points on me. So you can get me to re-roll if you want.
Yeah.
The other really important part of luck rolls is that you can use a luck point to change a major wound into a serious wound, which can prevent death. So if you get hit on the head and it's a major wound, you are dead. Okay, so there's no other thing to do. You are dead. So a lot of time, if you get a major wound, people will use a luck point to take it down to serious, which means you're out for the count, but you're not dead. So
Gotcha.
that's why people tend to keep their one luck point right to the end. So how many luck points do you have?
I've only got 4 luck points, so I think I could probably afford.
Only got 4.
Spend one
Only
to
Must
to
be because
reverse
of his power must be very high.
Yeah.
Just like Rabbit.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
I think I will.
So
reverse
you
that to a
can
29.
reverse it to a 29. So that's absolutely fine. So you have a look at these mushrooms. You haven't spent a lot of your time in caves gaining mushrooms or anything like that, and you're still quite low as a mage, but also with your skill. You do remember that, number one, mushrooms have a huge range of possibilities, but you do remember what Belle has just told you, that there is a red glowing cave dwelling mushroom that actually can, or is rumored to, do 2 things. Number one, heal you very well, but also there is a rumor that it can actually extend your lifespan, almost like giving you not immortality, but make you age slower. And you're aware of this. You think this might be the mushroom that they're talking about. but without actually, being somewhere that you can actually test it with alchemy equipment, which you don't have at the moment, you can't definitely agree. So yeah, you can talk back to.
I shall pass that knowledge on to the to the others.
Yeah.
I can't be sure that this is those mushrooms without running some proper tests. I've never actually seen it before, and the illustrations in the books are very, very poor. But this could be the thing, in which case that would explain a lot of this, yes.
We'll get paid some money then if these are real. That's the whole thing we're getting these for, is money.
So just before we head for our 15-minute break, Brasive, can you roll your tracking skill for me?
Oh yeah, that's gonna be rolled on. All right, it's gonna be guaranteed to be rolled. And hear me out. And this is gonna be crazy thought.
A point to
But
luck.
I'm thinking of a point of luck to reverse that.
Yeah.
And bam, easy peasy.
Okay then. So this is the following information that you get.
Ooh.
The tracks seem to be from 2 heavy wagons. You notice that the depth of the tread on both of these, it's definitely 2 sets of 4-wheeled wagons. You can tell that for where they've stopped, but they seem to be heavy. The depth of the indentation into the snow is quite severe. It seems that you tell this to the party that they came in and parked almost like slightly to one side of each other. You can see what appears to be horses' hooves on them, but there seem to be a lot of skidding around in the snow at that point. There seems to have been some kind of altercation. The trampled snow around this place is not people just stood still. You figured there might have been a fight, might have been some, pushing and shoving. It wasn't just people standing still. And then you notice that the tracks lead off into the west, into the forest, one behind the other. So as you notice that they go into the forest, they actually coincide with each other again. So they're only leaving one set of tracks. So it just looks like there's 2 wheels going through. And this is quite a feat. And you can also see the horses are there as well.
Can I just ask, so they've come in and the snow's just been churned up, but when they've gone out, it's been dug up.
The wheels have just sort of like gone through the snow. Yeah. They, go
sorry,
for it.
no, I misread it. So they're coming from the north.
Yeah.
And that was torn up a little bit. But then they've gone out to the west and it's really torn up. So it's like it's a lot heavier.
No, so when they came in from the north. Where they stopped, that is where all the churning
it's all churning is, sorry.
Yeah,
right.
And then they seem to have gone out to the west.
Does it look like the wagons are heavier when they've gone out?
They look like they were heavy coming in and going out, Brasive. I'll give you that from your tracking. It looks like they don't look, you don't think anything's been added either, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It looks like it's this normal. Okay, then let's take our break there. We'll have a 15-minute break now. So go off and grab yourself something to eat and drink and stretch your legs. And we will be back to start at 10 to the hour. Okay, is that all right for everyone?
Yes.
Yes. Excellent. So we'll be back.
Zug.
We'll be back there 10 to the hour, and we'll see what the party is doing next. Okay, see you all real soon. Yeah, Darth, it's coffee time. Go grab your coffee. I did that. You just you just carry on saying exactly what you.
It's what comes naturally.
And what comes naturally, yeah. Okay then. So
that was a very interesting take about the whole Jerusalem Palestinian take. It was very, very surprising.
People know that I want to pass comments about that. Unless there's a lot of shock faces coming up. So you've got two things that you still have to sort of like work on or progress from within the town. You've got these tracks and where these tracks lead to. And so that can be followed. It's not going to need a tracking skill to follow it. The other thing is you've got the rest of the villagers who seem to be in their buildings. They seem to be peeping out now and again, but if you look at them at all, they cast their eyes down and sort of like shield them, a bit like what the barkeeper and Rose were doing. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to do anything about them at all. You can just, or you can go home. I mean, it's up to you.
Well, I mean, I've seen the shutters open and close. I'm going to go to the door of the inn, and I'm going to ask Rose and the innkeep to come out.
Oh, and yeah.
I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to raise my voice and say, villagers, people.
Do you have oratory?
I wish I did.
Somebody here though is a showman.
Oh, who's a showman?
Because oratory.
Dispel.
I'd like to back you up because, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That's
all to be the second.
I'm great at getting out of trouble.
Oh, I see. Nice.
In which case, I shall look down at Belle and say, Belle, can you maybe coax these villagers out of their hiding places so I can remove their fear?
Yeah, I'm going to do just like what we did in that port city a couple months back.
That's fantastic.
Okay.
That'd be wonderful.
So you can augment via Ida's influence skill.
Wonderful. My influence is 46.
So you'll have another 5 onto your skill. But the other thing that I'm going to say, because you've brought out the barkeeper and Rose, who seem to be cured from the curse, I'm going to make the roll easy rather than standard. They do still have to oppose with their willpower. Okay.
Do I get the benefit of the bless, or was that just on abrasive?
No, it's everybody in that room. To be fair, the bless, it's an area effect, and it lasts.
It'll last to the end of the scene or whatever.
The scene, yeah.
So that would be a total of 10 augmentation.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. That, I mean, I'm not the best, but I'm going to put on a good show. I want to get everybody's attention and convince them that the beautiful Ida has saved the day and that the goblin slayers are back in town. That doesn't bode well.
Yeah.
I'd like to use a point of luck to...
No, it's easy.
Wait, no, I can... Easy, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's an easy roll, so 62, yeah. Well, this is quite remarkable. They failed their willpower on the roll, so between you, Belle, and with your words of... what? I'm dying to know, what are you going to say to them? Please give us some of Belle's wonderful oratory skills.
Right, because as the storyteller, you've just joined us. We have backstory in that port city I mentioned, and you weren't there for that. Yeah. So obviously, I'm going to... Well, that's abrasive. I wasn't going to call you out on that, but yeah, I'll do this for you too. So it's a very elaborate dance of Belle is like moving around in a circle around, trying to gesture to the crowd and get everybody on our side here, saying, "Hail all of the goblin slayers! We have come back and destroyed them in their mind. We have brought riches and glory to the city, hamlet, small town place. We are the glorious heroes and the most glorious of us all. Ida, the purifier and breaker of curses."
Ida's just nodding, I take it.
She's ideally in the middle of the circle I'm going around, so I can gesture back at her every time that I mention her.
So I'll just say this. I'll be shouting out, "Gather round! I can cure your curse. I will set you free.
Abrasive's just leaning up against a wall somewhere, still drinking his tanker and throwing. Do you want to try to throw nuts in the air and catch them with your mouth, Abrasive?
Sure. What would I roll for that?
Just roll an athletics check.
This is gonna be embarrassing.
As it bounces off your nose.
Yeah. Yeah, you sort of like catch some of them, but some of them hit your eye and go off. But nobody seems to. You sort of like drop it in the yellow snow and pick it up and pop it in. And the scene in the tavern, in the village, the hamlet, is a bit like the Wizard of Oz. If you've seen the Wizard of Oz, when the Munchkins come out after the Wicked Witch has been destroyed, and they're all sort of like coming out, and as Belle talks and gesticulates, and Ida looks noble and divine, and the barkeeper and Rose sort of like nod and agree. You notice that doors open and windows open. I think you had a long chat with the carpenter beforehand. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
that was the one person we talked to before we went.
Yeah,
on our track.
he's one of the first people to come out because he sort of like knows you and sort of like had that talk. And eventually people come out, and as more people come out, they start to sort of like encourage other people to come out, and more people start to make their way and sort of like congregate round Ida and Belle. And Bracey, you're still leaning up the tavern against the tavern wall. Caramore, what will you be doing? Are you being with Bracey, or are you going with Ida and Belle?
Standing slightly off to one side, probably closer to Percy. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, very good, I say.
Yeah, you see him, one peanut hit his eye, one nut hit his eye instead of his mouth. And as they come out, their initial, they seem to be wary at first, but then see that the wonderful removal of the curse that's happened, and there's lots of clapping. And then they there's a slight mutter going on, and Ida and probably Caramore and Bracey, you pick it up because it's sort of like at the back of what's happening, and there seems to be a little bit of unrest about, but but she'll just come back and curses again. And they seem to be really worried.
No, once the curse is broken, it cannot be reseated.
And somebody shouts up from the back, and Burley looks a bit like a blacksmith, and he says, "But she said this town is hers now."
But my friend blacksmith, it is not. It is yours.
And a woman cries up from the other place, "Will you be here when they come back?"
Yes, us and the 7 samurai. No.
Can somebody lift me up so I can keep talking to the...
Oh,
Bracey, can you give me some height?
Bracey will pick up the back of her shirt and lift her up.
Not ideal.
Dangle around it as if she's some kind of torch, you know.
I'll take it, but I want to shout to the crowd. We are the Goblin Slayers. Destroyed an ogre in the depths of the hellish mines to the north. We shall find this witch, and we will slay her so she cannot come back.
And all of a sudden,
really confident I slayed the ogre, but it's fine.
That sort of like brings.
Don't tell them that. It's all of us.
A huge sort of like. There's a momentarily lull as it sort of like that permeates their brain, and they suddenly start to figure it out. And then there seems to be a chant going up, and it seems like some people are chanting "kill her, kill her," and somebody,
no, I'm fine. No.
Somebody else, Brace, if he's saying "chuck her, chuck her," and then some of them are saying "slay the necromancer, slay her." like that, and there seems to be a rapturous applause, and they sort of like coming closer and start to pat you and sort of like cheer, and a little girl brings you a little flower eyed like you did when can you remember when you left for the mine, and and a little snowdrop, and somebody, a little lad comes up to you, Caramore, and says, I want to be like you when I grow up. And
that's very unlikely.
And says, I want to have a big staff like you. Can I have a big staff like you?
Wonk.
Well, based on what my father told me, it's genetic.
And so somebody shouts, Belle's our hero! And there's a lot of girls sort of like dancing around in a circle, and you hear other people, I want my hair like Belle. Belle is such a hero. And they insist that you stay the night before you head off, and they insist that you take food that they brought. There's a nice pumpkin pie that is brought in. Somebody brings over what appears to be fermented potato vodka, in that sense, which is extremely powerful and pretty disgusting. But they insist that they pass the bottle around. And there seems to be a lot of discussion and cheering, and people say, oh, when you're in the tavern again, they say, oh, shame about the frames, wasn't it? And all those memories that about them, they're all gone. And and there seems to be, they help to write the tables and put the tavern back in, and it feels like a really positive day, end of the day. Yeah, go for it, Ida.
Can I single out the blacksmith? It was very gruff, and I'd like to go up to him and say, you do know she was just here to rob the place of for the metal that you had.
Yes, you can. Do you want to probably deceit him?
No, because it's the truth.
Okay, so influence.
I can influence. I can influence him. And those weren't really skeletons as well. They were just people dressed up as skeletons.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, and the blacksmith says, yeah, you're so right, woman of the cloth. You are the best. We believe anything you say now. And they seem to be adoring you and very, very thinking that you are probably all four of you are the saviors of the tavern, but really Ida and Belle, you seem to be the most important couple there. Is there any other questions that you would like to ask the town folk as you're in the tavern and they're bringing you ale, etc.?
I'd like to know if Percy went with her willingly, because they were the curtain twitchers. They've been watching everything.
Yeah,
that's been going on. So I know he got a beating, but did he go into the wagon willingly?
Okay, so let's roll your influence just to see how much information you get. I just want to know whether or not you get a crit or not, because obviously there'd be more. No, you don't get a crit, so you're not getting the fine details, but there are some other details you do get. You didn't have your augmentation on there, by the way, but it won't have mattered.
No.
So it seems, from what you can gather, and Ida or whoever, all four of you sort of like maybe go and talk to different people and then come back and sort of like share, because each person in the tavern now has seen a different side of things when they've been in their houses. There seems to be the following information that you get. Percy was escorted out of the tavern by some of the followers that they talk about them being skeletons, the walking dead, but they were people. and they were sort of like, somebody remembers seeing him being pushed down to his knees in front of a woman who was dressed all in black with a hood up. And there was some exchange of talking, and one group of people call it whimpering from Percy, as you know him. And the woman actually, somebody else says that the woman actually slaps him, but slaps him to such a degree that he falls off to the ground, if that makes sense. So he was kneeling down and whacked up. And then she seemed to shout some orders, and his hands were tied behind his back, and he was tied with a piece of rope to the end of a wagon. So he wasn't put in the wagon. He was just attached to the wagon. And when they all left to the west, he was walking behind one of the wagons.
Did anybody hear what the orders were?
No, because they were in their houses, but they assume it was just like tie his hands or bring him with us, you know.
And how long ago was this?
Sorry, 1 day ago. So it would probably have happened when can you remember you went up and spent a night in the mine? Do you remember that? So
Yep.
It probably happened at the start of that next day. So on the next
head back.
No, well, you slept in the goblins area, didn't you? And then you went down below.
Mm-hmm.
So it probably happened on that final day when you were down at the bottom of the mine after you had your rest. Yeah.
We all try and forget sleeping in that goblin cave.
Yeah. It was quite spelly.
We huddle together for warmth.
I don't know whether or not my sound effects
They're not pillows.
Does my sound effect still work?
Oh yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that was mostly
classic abrasive.
Yeah.
That's just him right now in the middle of the conversation.
Yes.
More beans.
So the tavern owner is happy to give you the rooms that you had before, if you wish
for
to.
Free.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You are seen as heroes to this tavern, to this hamlet now. Well, heroes in the sense that you've removed the curse and you've promised to rid them of the evil necromancer that they call, or the evil woman. They never give her a name, by the way, ever. So they weren't familiar to them. They didn't know who it was.
We'll just call her Spooky Karen.
Spooky Karen is fine.
Yeah.
Do they react at all if we drop the name Jezebel?
No, they don't seem to know that name at all. The only piece of information you do get is that somebody remembers Percy talking about a Jezebel, but you have no information that the two were connected at all.
Are people willing to talk about what they saw of Percy? Like, did they know him beforehand? And if they didn't, like, did they like him? Was he nice enough? Weird?
They talked about him being scrawny and shady. Apparently he arrived at the town a day before you saw him. So he hasn't been there for a huge amount of time. But then Percy sort of like somebody in the tavern remembers him Percy asking like the Rose, who are those people? So forth and so on. And she probably said that they're here to do the mine challenge. And it might have been that sort of like he thought, oh, these people may be tough enough. Because remember, the mine challenge is just getting the ingots. It's nothing
Yeah.
about the mushrooms at
Yeah,
all.
that's right.
So I'm trying to organize it. It's doing my head in this, the orientation of, I think that looks better because it's more equal on both sides now. I'm happy
Indeed.
with that. It was bugging. No, it was bugging me like anything. Yeah. And of course, Belle has a bigger ring round her token because it's not one that I've made, which is bugging me as well. So yeah, so you can
That's abrasive.
yeah, you can spend the night here as always. So magic users and anybody spell casting will regain magic points. You don't regain luck points. Remember, those are from a session, not a period of time. Is anybody injured, or did you heal everybody up?
I think I nagged everybody back to health.
I still have 1 hit point missing from my right leg.
Right.
After I nagged you to heal yourself?
Yeah, I healed. I did. I did the best I could.
So that probably heals up
naturally.
Naturally.
I'll slot his little tooth marks in it from this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay then. So the next day dawns, but before we click into that, there's an opportunity when you're. Do you all sleep in the same room, or do some people sleep with Brasive? And I can't remember what the sleeping arrangements were.
Yeah, what's the sleeping arrangement, guys?
It's very much trying to save as much money as we can so that we can buy enough food to keep Brasive from
larger
eating me.
axes.
Oh, or that, yeah. And also to pay our bar tab.
And if food stop Brasive trying to eat us.
Yeah, we want to keep Brasive happy mostly. So we probably generally have a shared room of sorts.
A shared room,
if we're feeling rich, then we'd go for spare rooms. But
the other question I had was, are there any of the magical items that you found? And this is in player mode, not character mode. Are you going to donate any of them that you might have spared to Caramore, or do you think they're all taken and they're all in the right place? Obviously, he doesn't want your axe.
I'm going to keep the sword of doom.
He ain't getting it.
I just didn't know.
Also, why would we donate? Are we getting like tax refunds? What's going on here?
You do.
Yeah, you do.
Well, that is a good question. I
have no idea what magical stuff we have.
You have a shield.
Yeah,
I believe.
It's fancy.
Ida,
did I have a shield?
Magical shield.
Did you not write the?
I've got a heater shield.
I mean, I wrote mine down, but I'm guessing for what they have. The magic axe for abrasive.
+1.
I think there was one more that one of you guys had, but I have 2 items, and I think probably when we're in our room,
there was a +5% shield that Ida took. There was a +1 weapon, which I think Brasive converted that to an axe. I think there was a ring of spell detect magic and a ring of protection.
Yeah, I have 2 rings.
Yeah, so one of them's a ring of spell detect magic, and the other one's a +1 ring of protection that you have. Those are the 2 rings.
So I guess like it would be in our shared room as we're getting ready for bed. Assuming Caramore is with us.
If he's being invited, yes, Caramore will accompany you.
Come join the Slumber Party, buddy.
A powerful wizard on our side, and sometimes when things get tense like this, people send assassins after us. It's just that one mountain town, but to be fair, I stole a lot from them. As a wizard, can you like see magic just happening around you?
Not all.
Are you that good?
But I can. I do have enchantments which enable me to perceive magic.
So you just can't do that at will?
No, not at will. No.
Okay. I should say Belle has a string around her neck with a ring on it, and she pulls out the ring, and I'm gonna put it on first to get a read on how many enchantments he actually has on him, if I may. The detect magic.
Yeah. So he doesn't have any.
Looks like he's packing.
He's not packing at all.
Okay, then I'll remove it and hand it over to him. This might be useful for us to share at points. You for your job, and especially to prevent others from fireballing us. But I mean, I often sneak ahead to get a read on things, so I may need to borrow it from time to time. But this is something we found in the dungeon that may benefit us.
Yeah.
Do you know any sort of magical protection spells?
Magical protection spells. Well, I have a shield spell. Doesn't protect
like
anyone
another
but me.
Person we used to know.
Yeah. Do you have
Well,
mage armor?
I just I
Mage armor is the most overpowered spell I've ever seen in my life. Please tell me you got mage armor.
I haven't actually sorted out all of my spells in my spell book as yet. I just sorted out the ones that I've got memorized at the moment. I'd say in D&D I always take mage armor. So the fact that I haven't got it memorized today doesn't mean I won't have it.
Mage armor in classic fantasy adds 4 points of protection to all your locations, but it's only dispelled if 8 points of damage is done in a single blow.
And you cast it first thing in the morning, and it lasts all day, doesn't it?
Yes,
it's old school mage armor.
Yeah, so it lasts for, and due to the fact that you don't wear armor, you can actually wear elven armor later on, but you won't afford that. But it's one of the best pieces of protection, I think. For
you need it.
Yeah, so you might.
I believe classic fantasy allows you to cast a spell from your spell book as well as memorized spells. Am I right in thinking
No, I think if you want to transfer it onto scrolls, then that's it. But all I would say is that all you need to do is tomorrow morning, if you want to use mage armor, just memorize it so you've got it. Then you cast it, and therefore you would lose your magic points because you cast it, but it would be with you then for the rest of the day.
Yes, and all day long you'll have good luck.
Yeah, and then that's it. Brilliant.
In that case, I'm going to hold on to my ring of protection because I'm just sitting here with leather armor and a studded leather hat.
Yeah, so Caramore can have the ring of detect magic. So what's going to be the plan for tomorrow? Is the plan to pursue this person into the woods, or is the plan to head off back to the nearest town, or stay here for a period of time before you go out? What's going to be the plan?
No, we need to find Percy to find his mistress, don't we?
Yeah, no, you know that.
We need to get payment for
that. Percy definitely left tied to a wagon to the west.
And we've told maybe we should leave a note with the villagers so that if our boss comes with money, all the money that we've been promised that we're doing this for, she'll know that we have left to secure her minion.
Oh, right. Yes.
Write just a quick little letter. But otherwise, I think the plan is that we should be heading off to be the saviors, the goblin slayers.
Okay, then. That's
all the tracks.
I'm not necessarily advocating this as a plan of action, but I do wonder whether consideration has been given to the idea of just heading to the nearest large settlement and selling these mushrooms there. As I say, I'm not advocating that. I'm just suggesting that we should keep all the options open.
Do you think there's a market for that?
Well, if they're what I think they are, then they can be used both for an elixir of longevity and potentially even for healing, to make healing potions. So there must be a market for that, yes.
That's something to keep in mind. Maybe we don't give our employer all of the mushrooms, but I mean,
didn't we enter into a contract with this Percy?
Yes, he actually gave you. I think he gave you half the money beforehand, and the rest of he was going to reward you when you returned. I think off the top of my head.
That's right. Yeah, no, you're
right. Is that for specified amount, a specified
quantity? No specified amounts, just what we could find.
He would pay us per. I believe it was like a couple silver per.
Yeah, hang on. There'll be 10 silver pieces for each surviving member. with an additional 5 silver pieces per plant that is returned. That he will be waiting at the tavern when you get back. His mistress is traveling to the village as they speak. It will be a fantastic present greeting for her when she arrives.
I'm not a lawyer, but technically I think he's broken the contract already. He said he'd be waiting at the tavern and he wasn't.
Well, I mean, he was dragged out, wasn't he? So I don't think he had a choice to break the contract.
Well, I do believe that if this lady that has dragged him away is Jezebel, then that also would be a breach of contract in my eyes, because I would not wish to give anything that would create longevity to an evil woman like her. So we can just kill her and take all the stuff anyway.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
That seems reasonable.
I'm assuming
Murder
that
is kind of fun.
5 silver per mushroom is probably a decent payout. That sounds like a decent amount of money.
That's quite a good payout, coupled with the 5 silver pieces per surviving member.
10, wasn't it?
10, sorry, yeah.
And obviously we will lie and say that you were the comrade we totally didn't lose in the mine.
Yes.
Exactly. We'll say you were. Because she's never seen all of us together,
no,
so what would
exactly. And he went through regeneration.
But
fine.
Yeah, maybe we just say he survived and we didn't have to do a regeneration spell that failed.
So you've got 2 options now, therefore. Once you wake up in the morning and had a hearty breakfast, we can either pursue the woman with Percy into the woods, or follow Caramore's suggestion and head to the nearest town and sell the mushrooms for profit.
I vote we go goblin slayers and saviors. Go kill the evil lady.
I agree completely. Because if we don't, she will come back to this place and harass these poor villagers.
And then our reputation will be tarnished because you kind of
because we run away.
Yeah. Abrasive?
I need to sharpen my axe on cultist bones. So
some more. Okay. So, and Caramore, I presume you're happy to go with the...
Yeah, she is giving a bad name to people who wear black robes. So I think something should be done about it.
Brilliant.
Fair.
So you get back into your winter woolies, because obviously it's going to be snowy in the forest. Although you do notice that once the forest gets thicker and thicker, the amount of snow on the ground gets less and less. Abrasive, you are able to follow the tracks quite well. There definitely seems to be a lot in these wagons, because even when it ends up going across muddy ground or fairly stable ground, there's still quite a deep rut in them. You can definitely see that they're pulled by horses as you get away from the snow, and they've the hooves prints can be kept in the mud for a period of time.
Can I tell if they're very large horses or not?
You think they're probably normal horses. They don't look like Shire horses or anything like that. The actual progress is very slow, you notice, and you feel that as you travel the first day, because they've got like a day ahead of you, you feel that you've made really good progress, but at the end of that day you have to quite naturally camp out in the woods. Does anybody have a survival skill?
Oh,
I do.
Again, demanding, it's just yeah, I got some survival skills.
Okay then, so anybody with a survival skill, roll your survival skills now.
And I don't.
I don't remember how to do it.
Care.
Oh, dear me. Points of luck, please.
To
Roll
reverse.
even worse. Yes.
Yeah. So you seem to find Brasive and Ida sort of like point to a certain place to camp for the night, and you sort of like settle down, and they seem very it's a very good idea to camp
look over here. This looks like a great exposed area to freeze to death at night. Let's camp there.
So can we please make endurance checks? The difficulty is easy.
Yeah.
Brasive gets a crit.
I can sleep on this all night.
Ooh. Oh.
So let me just. So Brasive gets a crit and survives. Bell does. Ida does. Caramel, do you wish to?
I think I'm going to spend a point of luck on that.
Yeah.
Reverse it.
And reverse it to 27.
Reverse it to 27.
Okay, then. So you get through the night due to the bad camping place. Just to let you know, your endurance check was to see whether or not you actually managed to get any sleep. And if you hadn't, you would have had a level of fatigue when you woke up the next day. So luckily, despite being a really bad place to camp, you do manage to have some kind of maybe slightly fitful sleep, but you manage to get through the night. Branish, why can't I say his name anymore? Brasive. I know, I keep wanting to say burnished. Brasive gets some local food and maybe a small rabbit that is cooked up and whatever. And you head further into the forest on the next day, hoping that you don't have to spend the night within the forest again. But it's as you're traveling that you're coming to the end of the day, so it's not dark yet, but it's about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but you know it normally gets dark about 5-ish. The sun is setting, and the more perceptive of you don't need to roll anything. I picked it up passively. You hear some muttering and some talking up ahead, and you naturally stop where you are. Because of how the trees are, you can't see anything. There does seem to be perhaps a glow of a fire or something up ahead. But apart from that, you can see the glow of the fire, and you can hear the murmurs of talking, but you can't pick up what the words are from this distance. If you want to find anything else out, you're going to have to get closer. You can, of course, stealth if you wish and use this, or whatever else. Yeah, sorry, Ida, go for it.
I'm going to look at Belle and say, Belle, go, see if you can hear what they're saying.
I'm already getting like set up, like taking off anything that's loud on me and setting aside. I'm gonna go and stealth on over. I will keep my sword on me, but
okay. So would you like to, due to the trees, your stealth roll would be easy, just so you know. Does somebody want to come in then?
Yeah, do you want me to bless you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as I raise my hand up to the sky, Mistress! No, I'm joking.
No!
Yeah!
Stop screaming!
What is Bartleby? Shock? Is it shock that Bartleby? Yeah. Boo!
My noise spell.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't cast blessing because I would have to speak. So, yeah.
You're probably you're far enough away to speak with them not hearing. Yeah.
In which case, I will class.
Yeah, go for it. You can take minutes over it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Did you want to take the ring if you're scouting ahead, just in case there's any magic to be sniffed out?
Oh, good idea. I will borrow that back from you.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll put on the ring, and I will. No, I'm going to hang it from my neck, and then I'm going to go over there.
Like a hobbit would.
Yeah, well, I just if this is a powerful sorceress, you never know if they are gonna pick up a big old target sign on me that says, "Hi, I can see what you're doing." Anyways, here is my stealth with an augment of 5.
Yeah,
45.
nice. So I'm going to move you onto the actual. I think, Mr. Pickles, you should see the small snowy travel ground at the moment. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, but the other party can't see that.
No.
Okay, so
Oh,
so you're going to see what you can see. So you're at a distance with this still. So can you see what you can see?
yeah, I can see the whole map. It doesn't look like anything's grayed out. I can see a number of figures, and I think somebody next to that tree.
Yeah, so that person is tied up, and it looks like Percy. These look like people from the tavern.
Like
Yeah.
people from the like the enemies we fought in the tavern, not
Yeah.
like people that we met that were those boys that
Yeah.
were mocking.
Or
Percy.
they're both, and that's the twist.
This
No.
this seems to be
Maybe.
like a normal everyday wagon.
And it looks like it's open.
Yeah, it's open back. This one is more like a carriage, and it looks very ornate and very big and very sealed.
So it'd be fair to assume there could be a number of people in this sealed carriage that I can't see.
Correct, but nothing that you could see in this one. It
Okay,
seems
because
to be
that's like a cargo carrier.
yeah,
maybe?
it seems to be laden up with trunks and jars and things like that. It looks like some kind of cargo wagon, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The horses are tethered to the ground, and these and this one and this one seem to be just sat. They look like there's a fire where this green thing is here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And they're
Good spot
just
for it.
just sort of like talking. They look like they perhaps have been there for a while.
Do I see any sort of activity with the carriage? Like, is there maybe a window or a door window that is visible, or
It does, as you sort of like circumvent the whole ground. You can see it does have doors with what appear to be windows in them, with curtains behind them that are drawn. It seems that nobody comes in or out of of that wagon at all, and nobody seemed to go near it. Sometimes these people head off to this one and collect something from it. But that's it. It's not sort of like they just sort of like rummage through it for a while, and then that's it. It doesn't
does the cargo look rather full?
Most definitely.
Okay.
It looks a bit. It looks as full as when your great auntie choose to relocate to somewhere else.
Yeah, disgracing the gnomish courts.
Yeah. It looks like it is as if some people were moving.
In this carriage doesn't have like any movement, then, like, as if like somebody's in there and then somebody's gesturing while they talk, and it might
No,
wobble
not
over.
yeah.
No movement.
So this one, there is no movement on it at all, and the people who are round about, they're not going up to it or anything. It's just left. Some now and again they go over to Percy and give him a kick and laugh at him.
Yeah,
but
makes
that's
sense.
it.
One last question, I guess. This carriage, does it look, by my estimate, this is probably a hard one since I'm a gnome. Does it look like a carriage for about 4 humans, or is it one that I would guess to be more than that?
It looks quite big and ornate.
I can roll commerce if that helps me at all.
Yeah, roll your commerce. Let's see what.
Do I know anything about wagons?
Are you going to look it?
I'll throw a luck point. Yeah, I haven't used any yet.
You figure you could get 4 people inside, but you do remember seeing them in the previous town, that they were very much like one rich person would travel in it by themselves.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I'll return to my comrades at this point.
Okay, then.
To relay this information and to claim we've got a good chance here.
Okay, you should be back on the map now. Yeah.
So I ran ahead for a few days while you guys were here at the bar. No.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd return looking rather excited. And I'd relay what I saw, which is essentially that they've camped out there. There's one carriage that is probably just holding the lady we're after. She might have 1 or 2 people in there, but outside there are only 3 people that are wearing those skull masks. A little disappointed that I forgot to take a skull mask at this point, because that could be pretty hilarious if Brayson went up there with a skull mask on.
Yeah.
Well, hey guys.
I mean, that's regardless. Percy is tied to a
go
tree.
Back and get one.
Yeah, let's go back. Yeah, no, Percy's tied to a tree, and there are about 4 horses that are tied up in different locations. There's like 2 carriage horses that are together, and then 2 other horses, I think, for their cargo. I think we have a lot of opportunity here to make some distractions and some chaos. I could go in and maybe save Percy, or cut like one of the ropes for the horses, and then say skedaddle. Actually, I don't know how to make horses move, but
skedaddle will do it.
That's amazing.
Fire makes horses run.
Use your sling.
There's 3 enemies though.
We haven't got time for that.
Ouch!
It'll be preloaded. Thank you very much. But there's 3 guys out there, and we have 1 abrasive, so that's already great odds. And if there's only her in the carriage, I think we have a chance to end things now before they get worse.
We set up an ambush. If you go in and free Percy, but not so stealthily that they don't see it happen, we could lure them to a point where Brasive is waiting to leap out at them.
Yeah.
Oh, because Brasive's going to trip and slide in the snow. You're right.
If we're going to free Percy, I would like Bella to stand there in
I've never tripped and slide
of Percy as he runs past her with her arms up like that, and he jumps over her. You're free, Percy. No, that's Free Willy, wasn't it?
I was born in snow. I won't trip and slide.
Were you born
I never trip and slide. I was born in the snow. I spent the first 5 months of my existence slowly crawling and finding my way through the snow.
Just to
get past all possible resistances.
Just to let you know, you can get 50 foot away from them before you need to start doing any rolls for stealth or anything like that. So 50 foot will put you on the edge of the map, if that makes sense. And then after that, so you can move up, going from tree to tree up to that point. But then from then on in, there'll be some need for stealth or not for stealth, depending how you want to play it.
I really like the ambush idea, but my only concern is that if this is a necromancer, so to speak, or even a spellcaster in general, that gives her the opportunity to cast some spells.
We've not seen her do any magic, or nobody's seen her from the village saw her do magic. And these
she did that voodoo thing, the chicken.
Yeah, but anybody can kill a chicken.
We don't know that it had any effect.
I kill chickens all the time.
To be fair, the villagers seemed quite fine. I didn't even need to remove curse on that last lot. They just
And
came down
we
by
know that the
themselves.
skeletons,
with your great
are
oratory.
actually skeletons.
It's a ruse. It's all ruse based on fear. And I'm going to say it sadly, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, but stupid villagers.
Oh,
sorry,
Okay.
Ooh.
But
I think
I've heard
ignorant
that
is a better
same
word than
line
stupid.
from
Yeah.
gnome illusionists. They all say basically the same thing. So forgive me, Ida, and also your goddess, please forgive me. I'm just I'm not sure. I think we might have the best odds if we go in there close and personal, having Brasive charge in, having the rest of us swoop in to cause more chaos and take out anybody who dares stand against the party member with the most tragic backstory, apparently.
In which case, why don't we have Brasive coming in from one side, and I would have to be with him to make sure he's protected, and then you sneaking from behind with. Yes, Caramel, you'd be ideal companion with Belle.
You do get to figure that whatever you're going to do, you need to do it quicker rather than because of light. It's going to be a lot harder in the dark. Or you could camp the night and see what happens in the morning. It's completely up to you, whichever way you would like to do it. Would you like to?
They're the ones that light.
I mean, what we could do is.
Would you like to get to
before first light, and get them while they're tired?
But we'll also be tired. And Percy was literally wearing a pillowcase, and they just tied him to a tree. I think he's gonna die if we start waiting.
Let's go now then.
Would you like to get to 50 foot so you can see the layout? Would that be a helpful move?
Yes, please.
Okay, then.
But just 50 foot and a half.
Onward! I scream.
So
in my head.
Freedom.
Can you?
Onward.
Can you see it?
Hang on. Is this Grandma's hole?
No, it's not.
Done that.
And that is so funny because I say Grandma's hole. Many factors bursts out laughing and says hole. And then Mr. Pickles goes, "Oh, Grandma." I love that clip.
That's a good time.
And I think Chuggerwugger closes his eyes when you say it.
Yeah, shakes his head.
Yeah. And then you can see it in the video. He goes, "Oh, no."
Humor.
Then Cyrus made that alchemist leave us.
So hopefully you can see the setup now, yeah?
And we're at the top there.
Yeah, you're at the top. Just to let you know, this person against this tree here, that is Percy.
Yeah.
And this
Percy's
green,
on the far side of the camp.
this green thing here is a fire. That's
Where's the green thing?
Right here.
Oh, that
right.
fern.
Sorry. Yeah.
The fern.
So you're up at the top, camped behind this tree.
The burning bush.
Yeah, at the moment.
Cargo.
That's cargo.
Is
loot. And then this is the big, and the horses are tethered to the ground.
All right.
We could take out this whole camp.
So just to let you know, because Brasive, I know you like to charge. So let me just, I figured out the rules that will go in movement across all games. So in order to charge anything, you spend a whole round running or sprinting. Okay, a whole running. During that time, what you do is that you take up your running, which is 3 times your movement, and you split it up depending how many actions you have. So 2 actions. So you would run half of it, then run the other half. And then on the next round, if you've charged, when you do your attack, it's a harder skill level, but your damage notches up. It goes to the next next level. I think a bit like, is it Blade Sharp that knocks it up a...
Yep.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bit like that. So it's harder to hit, but you do more damage. And just to let you know, as you're running, if anybody tries to hit you with, say, axes or missile fire or anything like that, then you're classed as running, which makes it harder to hit you as well. Does anybody...
What's the next notch after 2d6?
2d4, isn't it? 2d8, sorry, 2d8.
2d8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Need to just... The easiest one to look at is Blade Sharp, because I think it has it in it, doesn't it?
I believe it does.
Yeah. So the other thing that the ground, by the way, is there's no difficult terrain, and you can run underneath these. And you see, these are not bushes; they're trees, but they're short trees, so you can actually run underneath them if you wish, and then that's it.
So we're at the point where we need to act. Battle plan, Brasive, you charge forward, start slaughtering these individuals. Maybe after I sneak over there and get an advantageous spot to use my sling, and then start freeing the horses.
So
Ida, you flank the other way, so that you can kind of back up Brasive and prevent anybody from defeating us. And
that will happen.
You said you have fireballs. So this is your time to shine as a wizard.
Yeah.
When she emerges, you need to be the one to help defeat her. Otherwise, Brasive is just going to chop her up.
Yes, my only concern about that is I wouldn't want to accidentally
I no
set
longer
fire
have
to the
fireballs.
To the forest, yes. Please set
I don't care
fire.
about the forest, but I don't want to set fire to the carriage. That looks really lootable.
You're right. Actually, good point. Supplement.
So I'll just have to aim
spells.
carefully. That's all.
Yeah. Everybody good on the plan?
Yeah.
That sounds good. We need to keep somebody alive to find out what the hell's going on.
Percy.
We'll work on that.
Percy might not know what's going on.
Okay, then. So let me go through step by step. So which side are people coming in from? Let's do that first. Brace, if you're coming in from the north, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So that's absolutely fine. Belle, where are you coming in from?
If we have time to make it around, like the sun isn't setting as quick, I would like to be over here, I guess. But I could also quickly go over here and kind of pelt enemies from that side.
So it's completely up to you. If you're going round, you'll need to make stealth rolls to make sure that you don't step on any loud twigs or anything. Wherever you go to, you'll be 50 foot away from them at that point. Does that make sense? So if you come this way, although the map finishes here, you can be there, but you still would be 50 foot away. And that would be happen. The other thing that I suggest you just make a decision about is, how do you know when you're going to attack? Can you see what I mean? Is it just Brasive who's going to start? Does that make sense?
We all follow Brasive's lead.
If Brasive shows Brasive starts to run, then that's it. Yeah, you're going in. So
I've got one. Maybe we give a loud whistle. Maybe especially if I'm coming from the south here. If I give off a loud whistle, they might look towards Percy and then not be looking at Brasive's direction from the north.
That's a damn good idea.
Yes. Distract their division.
So
Mortal Kombat!
So I'm going to move Belle. You're going to be coming in from this direction. Is that correct? Yeah?
Correct. That's my goal.
So you're about 25 foot away, so you've got double that before you get in. What about Caramore and Ida? What's going to be your plans?
Well, I'm going to ideally should be coming from the same side as Belle.
Okay. So you're coming down here like this. Yeah. And Ida, where are you coming?
I'm going to be backing up Brasive.
Okay then. Nice. So so the first thing that we need to roll, Belle and Caramore, you need to make easy stealth checks. So you have to make a stealth check because of the state of the ground, but it's easy because you got trees for cover and it's coming in dusky. Okay, so you just need to do easy stealth rolls at this point. Yes, you both make it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was good grief. So you make it round to that point. So you're 50 foot away. Okay, then. So, Brasive, it's down to you.
Before Brasive sets off, I want to cast Bless on him. Well, to be honest, both to be fair, but
It probably put on all of them, I would have assumed.
yeah, but it's last 5 minutes, not the scene. I just checked.
Yeah. So do your roll now. It's quite. I'm just seeing whether or not you can. Oh, that means you don't use up any magic points. Yeah.
Well, my goddess loves me. I save villagers for a living.
Yeah. Well, you've nearly converted a whole tavern,
It's true.
a whole town. Okay, then. So before we go any further, and I know where I'm going to stop, so don't worry if you're looking at the time and thinking he hasn't got time for this. So first things first, could you select your characters? So select your tokens, and let's get your initiatives up on the turn order to start off with.
Ooh.
Oh, nice one, Brasive.
Oh, very cool.
Fishy, if you don't know how to add an augmentation.
Literally the best initiative I can make.
Let's get. Have you found your initiative?
Not
Fishy.
Yet.
It's the right of intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
So click your token. Oh, fantastic.
There you go. What's Ida's initiative bonus?
My initiative bonus is 14.
14. And Caramore's yours is 15. Can you see that?
Oh
So Caramore goes before Ida.
no.
Okay.
Cleric always goes last.
So yes, you have to go last. Let me just put these guys on. Oh, nice. Okay, then. So if I'm reading this correctly, Brasive, you're going to start sprinting in, running in. Is that the general idea?
Yes.
So
once I give the whistle.
Yeah. So is there enough room there for you to run in to get a charge?
I think so, yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, then. Ida, what are you going to be doing when he charges in?
I'm going to be following behind him, but I won't be charging.
You'll just be running?
Yep.
Yep.
Indeed. Yep.
Okay, so there'll be no actions that you can do as you run. You'll just be running for that combat turn. Okay, then. And what about Caraman and Belle? What going to be your plan? Belle, you whistle. Brasive, are you going to charge in as in shouting, Brasive?
Roaring would be a better way of saying it.
But then they turn around to stare at you.
Yeah, so you're running in. Yeah, got ya. So when that happens, Caramore and Belle, what are you going to be doing?
I'll go for it, Caramore.
I was thinking of continuing to come in quietly. Keep the attention focused on Brasive as much as possible. So sort of sneak in, possibly sort of up to this tree here, so
Okay.
that I can either ambush this guy over here or anyone who comes out of the carriage.
Okay, then. So you'll be walking in, because stealthing in.
Yeah.
And what about you, Belle?
I mean, right after I whistle, I imagine in my head, the plan is that Brasive is going to charge in. They'll get caught off guard by that, and then I'll start coming around. So it's the loud whistle. Theoretically, all their attention is on my tree. If there's a rope around the tree that's holding Percy on that I can hack at from this angle, I'd probably cut that. But otherwise, I'm hanging back here for the heat to die down a little bit.
Okay, then. So as Caramel starts heading in stealthy, are you going with him or staying behind?
Actually, yeah, if he's going in, I'll join him. I want to keep him safe.
Okay, then. So I've just seen the time, but I just want to do this first bit.
I want to hit once before we leave, guys.
Yeah. So Brasive starts to charge in. What's your how far will you go on your run? So your run is 3 times your movement.
I'll be able to make it in that one turn. If I'm using the full turn for the run, I'll be able to make it to here.
So you have to spend a whole round.
Yeah.
So
yeah, by the entire round, I'll be able to. That's 3 times.
Okay, then.
Movement.
So at the end of the first turn, you'll sort of like be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the second turn, you'll be up to him. Yeah, does that sound right? Okay, then. So let's move. Let's just say, for argument's sake, you get there. Ida. Okay, you get there. The 2 guys at the back, you're walking in. So can you make me stealth rolls, please?
Ooh,
Nice.
very nice.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Unbelievably nice.
Very nice. You're stealthing in as you go. Braces, there's a huge roar as you come in. Everybody sort of like is looking around, trying to see what's happening as you charge in. And we are going to be, as you charge in, Brasive. I just need to press. This roll needs to be hard. So all of a sudden, as you're running down, you see a crossbow bolt. I think it's crossbow bolts. Let me just check. Yeah. A crossbow bolt fly right way past you. It misses you, luckily, but it appeared to come from up in this tree.
Ooh.
oh, great.
Very fun. Okay.
Okay. And we'll leave it there.
No!
So we're at
I knew we should set fire to the trees.
round 1, turn 1. So when we come back next time, we will be going into round 1, turn 2. Okay, so that would be the rest of your movement to get up to this guy, Brasive. Stealthing from the back, and Ida coming in from the front as well. Brilliant. We will leave it there. So next week's going to be a big combat. So please read up on your special effects and your spells in preparation for that. Okay. Thank you so much for coming along and supporting us tonight. Before we go, everybody gets the chance to say whether or not there's anything that they should look out for. Captain always goes last, Fish, just so you know. So first thing first, Mr. Pickles, is there anything you would like to say or add?
Yeah, I guess if you've never heard of what I've been doing before, I have a little podcast on Apple and Spotify podcasts called And I Took That Personally. It's not just me, it's my friend Brad as well. We just talk about movies that we see
Oh, Brad.
and we take it personally.
Sorry.
There's also a mini series on there that has completely been posted. It's when I did a solo podcast by myself. Then I just talk about a movie series that gets way too long, way too absurd, and if you just watch that little mini series, it's about 4 hours in length, all 13 episodes. It's insanity. Anyways,
Nice.
that's and I took that personally on Apple, Spotify podcasts, and I'll pass it over to Medivac, who has things.
Why, thank you. I now have things that Christmas is over.
Yes.
Mug. So Sunday night is our Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough, which is great fun. We've been going for weeks now. Monday night is Cyberpunk Red, which is at 7:30 GMT. And on Thursday night is our Warhammer Enemy Within campaign, which is amazing. And that's at 7:30 again or thereabouts.
Nice.
Yes.
Will Zed be joining us?
I was hoping so, but I'll talk to you about something afterwards.
Oh, yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Fish, anything that you want to advertise your stream?
I did nothing on my channel till Monday morning, but tomorrow evening, 7:00 GMT tomorrow evening, I should be playing Terrors and Tommy Guns, which is
what?
Sort of Terrors and Tommy Guns. It's a rules light Cthulhuid style RPG, and I should be playing that on Dratacup's channel tomorrow evening. It was supposed to be a Halloween game, and things went horribly wrong around Halloween, and we finally managed to reschedule it, so that should be tomorrow.
Does anybody remember the game Tunnels and Trolls?
Yeah, that's still going.
Yeah,
it's a classic.
Yeah, that was there used to be a spell called "Take That, You Fiend." Best name spell ever.
The other thing is Monday morning, 6 a.m. GMT, because I work nights, so I stream at weird times. I should be getting back to doing my campaign cartography 3 mapping streams on my own channel.
Fantastic. Okay, let's hear it.
Hey guys, no worry, it's nothing much. I'm just gonna.
Hang on. Sorry, adverts are started on the channels.
That's good because I need advertising for my show. I have an off-Broadway show.
But thanks for coming.
It's a quick, and it's fine. It's just a quick off-Broadway show. It's about a mob boss, Don Israel, named Salvador Key, and his wish to become a Broadway star. Essentially, I will be live streaming, trying to sell tickets to my Don Key show. So you will see that. I'll be hopefully get the right amount of people to go to my Don Key show.
Is Don Key a bit OT?
There might be some interesting stuff towards the end of the show. I don't know. I think everyone the last few times I've done this has been expecting something different, and so they've been very disappointed. But they're kind of creepy, so it's okay. Besides that, that'll be it. Yeah.
They did let.
This is the ports of Mexico.
They did let you back. They did let you back into the States, then, Captain.
Well, they mistook me for someone else. So I think it's why.
Oh, right. They got you. Yeah. I see. Thank you for that. I didn't understand a word of that, but I know Mr. Pickles did because he said his classic, "Oh Lord."
Oh my.
Yeah. Oh my golly gosh. So, Mr. Pickles, you're so posh.
You are.
It's unbelievable. Oh my Lord. I didn't realize people said that in America, to be honest with you. I thought it was very an English thing. Anyway, I will be back tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock for more Elder Scrolls Online. And don't forget, if you're interested in playing the Ant game, the mobile Ant game, then do use my link to go off and actually play that, so I get some money for. Sorry, you support me and my work on my channel. So more Elder Scrolls Online tomorrow as I try to sneak around doing a bell and using my blade of woe to kill people badly. And then I'm also going to be streaming on Monday night and Tuesday night. I'm aiming to do 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And Eld, who is a fantastic supporter of the channel, who actually shares the same birthday as I do. And yeah, we have our birthdays on the same day. And
can you prove it, or you've been stalked?
Yeah, well, it's only because Discord says we got it on the same day, and I'm learning to speak French, and she's French as well, and she's learning to speak English, but her English is miles better than my French. However, she bought me, I want to say, Subnautica.
Oh yes,
that's a great game.
Yeah, so she bought me for my birthday Subnautica and Below Zero. Is that
that's
like
good as well?
The new,
that's the second game,
the second DLC? So I've started it, and I'm going to be playing it on Monday night and Tuesday night. So if you want to have a laugh and come along, I'm already low on food, and I'm just going to starve. I just know it. The only thing I can eat at the moment is swim around and grab hopper fish and scoff them, which is going so against my vegetarianism. It's like social. It's sort of like anxiety I'm getting all the time. Anyway, do come back next week. Next Saturday, we'll be back with the rest of this class with more classic fantasy. So if you've enjoyed tonight's show, then do come along and watch it next week. Please remember that tonight's session will be up on YouTube as well, and I produce content for role-playing games 5 days a week, so do go along and check out my YouTube channel and see that. Thank you to everybody in the chat for coming along and joining in the adventure. It's absolutely fantastic. Lovely to see you, Cascade. I thought hope you got a note why you weren't at this afternoon's Elder Scrolls Online, because you weren't there. Hope you got a note and you're feeling better. So until next time, it's goodbye from me. I'll see you all later, and it's goodbye from them.
No, I'm good. I don't want to say bye. I'm good. Thank you.
You're right.
I'm good.
You're right. Right. I'm just putting up.
Banana.
Don't care.